India has cut base import taxes on palm oil, soy oil, and sunflower oil, a government order showed, as the world's biggest vegetable oil buyer tries to cool near record prices rises. The reduction in taxes could bring down prices of the edible oils in India and boost consumption, effectively increasing overseas buying by the South Asian country. The base import tax on crude palm oil has been slashed to 2.5% from 10%, while the tax on crude soy oil and crude sunflower oil has been reduced to 2.5% from 7.5%, the government said. The first session of the Karnataka Legislature after change of guard in the state will begin from Monday, as opposition parties are all set to corner the government on a host of issues including price rise, law and order situation, handling of COVID-19 pandemic, implementation of national education policy, among others. The 10-day monsoon session in the first for Basuraj Bommai as the Chief Minister and his new cabinet, which took charge following the exit of state BJP strongman B.S. Yediyurappa in July end. The legislature session will be held from September 13th to 24th. Country's largest open-air fernery was inaugurated at Rani Khet in Uttarakhnd's Almora district on Sunday by well-known expert on ferns Nilambar Kuneta, an official said. The fernery has been developed by the research wing of Uttarakhand Forest Department over a period of 3 years under the Centre's Compensatory Afforestation Scheme CAMPA. It has a collection of 120 different types of fern with only Jawaharlal Nehru Tropical Botanical Garden and Research Institute having a larger number of fern species. Chief Conservator of Forest Sanjeev Chaturvedi said. Hockey India on Sunday named 25 players, including the members of national team that secured a historic 4th place at the Tokyo Olympics for the senior women's national coaching camp scheduled to begin from Monday. The core group, which also includes the 16 players who were part of the Indian contingent at the Olympics Games Tokyo 2020, will report on Sunday, 12 September for the national camp, which will conclude on 20th October 2021. The Sikkim government on Saturday announced that all schools and colleges in the state would be shut down after COVID-19 cases were found among students. Education Secretary G.P. Upadhyay said that schools and colleges were opened on September 6th. In the schools, classes were being held for students of Standard 9 and above. However, after some schools reported that at least 5 students were found to be COVID positive, it was decided to shut the educational institutions again till October 31st. The schools and colleges were functioning with 50% staff and students were attending classes only after obtaining the consent of their parents, Upadhyay said. Haryana government on Saturday ordered a judicial probe into last month's clash between farmers and police and sent the IAS officer who is at the centre of a row over his remarks on leave. Following this, farmers called off their sit-in outside the Karnal district headquarters. Haryana Additional Chief Secretary Devendra Singh said the probe will be conducted by a retired judge and will be completed within a month. Former SDM Ayush Sinha will remain on leave during the time, he said. A joint press conference by Haryana government officials and farmer leader Gurnaam Singh Chaduni was held in Karnal after both sides reached an agreement leading to the ending of the standoff. There was an indication of a possible ending of the impasse between the farmers and the Karnal administration on Friday evening itself, as after a marathon meeting between both sides had said that it was held in a cordial atmosphere. The centre has told the Supreme Court that the Health Ministry and the Indian Council of Medical Research have come out with guidelines for issuing official document for COVID-related deaths. In an affidavit filed before the top court, the centre also submitted that the Office of the Registrar General of India on September 3rd had issued a circular to provide a medical certificate of cause of death to the next of the kin of the deceased. Israel carried out airstrikes in the Gaza Strip on Sunday in response to Palestinian rocket fire into its territory, the Israeli military said. Tension between Israel and the Palestinians has risen over the past week after 6 Palestinian militants escaped from a maximum security Israeli jail on Monday. Israeli forces have since captured 4 of the inmates. Drawing Israeli air attacks, Gaza militants fired a rocket into Israel on Friday when 2 of the prisoners were apprehended, and then again on Saturday after 2 more escaped inmates were caught. The Israeli military said it struck targets belonging to Hamas, the Islamist armed group that rules Gaza. There were no reports of casualties. A fragile truce between Israel and Hamas ended 11 days of fierce fighting in May, in which at least 250 Palestinians and 13 in Israel were killed. A drone attack hit near US forces stationed at Erbil International Airport in northern Iraq on Saturday, Iraqi Kurdish security officials said. The Internal Security Service for Iraq's autonomous Kurdish region, of which Erbil is the capital, initially said 3 rockets had hit near the airport. A second statement by the Kurdish counter-terrorism force said the attack had been carried out by explosive-laden drones. There were no immediate reports of casualties. Witnesses said they heard at least 6 explosions in the area. The airport in Erbil, the capital of the autonomous Kurdish region, has come under attack several times in the past year, including by drones carrying explosives. US officials blame previous attacks on Iran-aligned Shia Muslims militias, which have vowed to fight until the remaining 2,500 US military personnel leave the country. Japan's defense ministry said on Sunday that a submarine believed to be from China was spotted in waters near its southern islands as maritime tensions persist in the Pacific. Japan's Navy on Friday morning identified a submerged vessel sailing northwest just outside territorial waters near Amami Oshima Island, part of Kagoshima Prefecture, the ministry said in a statement. A Chinese destroyer was also spotted in the vicinity. Tokyo has complained of numerous intrusions by Chinese vessels off its territorial waters and near disputed islands in recent years. China has often reacted angrily to US ships sailing through disputed areas of the South China Sea in what Washington calls displays of freedom of navigation.